seemed to mind. The entire game boiled down to this play coming up with only seconds left, an incomplete pass to Joe Sensor that could have won it for the Vikings. But it's incomplete, and once that is over, the fans set about the task of souvenir hunting. And as expected, one of the first things to go, the goalposts, as fan after fan after fan piled on top. The stadium seats followed, and then the railings. Some fans even managed to get away with pieces of turf. I wish we could say anything that wasn't nailed down was fair game, but even that would not be accurate. Despite all this, Bloomington police tell us there were no real unexpected problems and no arrests were made.
Force was just about unable to stop fans out at Metropolitan Stadium in Bloomington today as about 1,000 psyched-up Viking fans stormed the field and ripped off just about everything they could get their hands on. It was the final game at the Met, and while the Vikings lost, the real damage was done to Metropolitan Stadium. Tony Vigneri reports.
The goalpost was the first to go. Fans were attracted to it like bees to honey, and down it went. Pocket knives cut up the frozen turf, a piece of the Met they wanted and they got. Some fought over it. In this case, a bloody eye appeared to be worth the speaker in hand. And while one group rushed the field to take home whatever they could there, another group stayed up in the stands to take home the chairs. Just a jump here and there produced souvenir seats, although some didn't want to talk about it. Hey, what are you taking the seat for? Security tried to prevent destruction to the Met, but 460 guards against a mob of psyched-up Viking fans? No way. Some thought it was a great way to say goodbye to 21 years at the Met. Others thought it was downright despicable.
Just look around here and all this destruction that's going on. I can't stand it. It makes me sick.
Everybody's saying they want a souvenir.
Whoopee, let them come over and buy it. This is sickening. This is so depressing. I thought Minnesota, get out of here, you creep. It's sick. I'm disappointed.
And while warnings were that anyone walking out with Met property would be stopped and charged with theft, walking out of this stadium today with your favorite souvenir in hand or in tow was as easy as pie.
Was the final day at the Met, and from the air it really looked like tiny ants about to claim another hill. And you'll see here coming up the goalposts bent like toothpicks, and later they were to be hacksawed into chunks of steel souvenirs. As Bob Hope would say, thanks for the memories. All right, let's break into Bud's office and see why he ran on that third down play. And here's a guy who'll have the best stereo sound in town, and can you believe there were no arrests made by the Bloomington police today? Wait till my friends see these on my backyard patio. There are fans and there are fans, but let us tell you, these are Minnesota fanatics. And here's Bud Grant.
Our fans have never deserted us here. They've been great. They were great today. They wanted us to win. They wanted to be proud of us. We just didn't get the job done, but it wasn't because of the fans.
We have no intention of risking anyone's safety to save a couple of metal poles. If the fans want the goalposts that badly, we're going to let them have them.
There was about 5 times the normal police protection at the Met, about 1 officer for every 100 fans. The extra security was paid for by the Vikings, who wanted to hold down vandalism and prevent injuries. In the end, some people did get hurt, mostly minor cuts sustained after the game when fans stormed the field. Mary Stuckey, News Center 11 at Met Stadium.
I didn't see any of all that action until I saw it on television a little while later.
Well, you're going to see a little bit more of it right now. The Vikings, of course, beefed up their security forces this afternoon, I think threefold for the game, and I think it served more as a protection for the players and officials as the game ended. We have some of that action right now. The Bloomington police said no arrests were made. However, several people were injured, and Ahmad, it was quite a scene on the field.
Gosh, it looks like it.
Just trying to get off here, of course. First was a chore.
Well, I think that was exciting. I think all the people were really up for it the entire week. That's all you read about is is what was going to happen at the Met when the game was all over. I can remember coming out of the locker room, people were walking out carrying seats, carrying signs.
Look at this guy. I'm taking that seat home with me.
They're probably going to put it right in the garage.
I've always tried to figure out what someone does with a goalpost. How do they get it in their car or on their car and get it home?
I have no idea.
The speaker systems went. Everything that was nailed down wasn't nailed down. Ended up going back home as the fans took home their favorite bench, their favorite seat that some of them had been sitting on. There goes the scoreboard, the Chicago.
That last guy had the last guy had his favorite stick of wood. I mean, there was nothing to it. It was just a broken piece of the bench.
Nothing was sacred at the Met. This man's sitting on top of that scoreboard. I think it's going to take him a while to get through that.
I think that guy's still there at the Met, trying to get a piece of that the goalpost down.
I think a few of these people are going to be feeling a little bit more pain tomorrow morning when they wake up.
Well, they had a good time.
And I think that's what's important. Everyone has their favorite memories of Met Stadium. What do the players feel about leaving the Met? What do you feel about it?
There's a lot of memories there. I'd have to say that the best games of my entire career were played right there at the Met. And when I think back, I got a chance to see Francis Tarkenton today, and that brings back all the memories. It was just a thrill for me to ever come here to this team and play on a great Super Bowl team that I played on my first year here with all the household names that we had. And all those memories will be left at the Met, and next year we start anew.
Stadium officials said it will take them several days to do a complete inventory on what was actually damaged, destroyed, or stolen. 9 fans were arrested on minor charges, and surprisingly, there was only one minor injury. So December 20th, 1981 was the day the Vikings lost their final game at the Met, but it was also a day that several thousand psyched-up fans whittled away at the very heart and soul of Metropolitan Stadium. Tony Vigneri, Channel 5 Eyewitness News.
We never expected that the security force could cope with that kind of an attack. What we wanted to do was protect people and protect lives if we could. This was no different than a rock concert or some other major event, and our interest was not protecting property.
Were you somewhat disappointed with the actions of the fans?
Both disappointed and embarrassed. I think this whole region ought to be embarrassed because I assume that went out over national television, and something like the beaning of the official with a whiskey bottle a few years ago just brings, I think, some shame and embarrassment upon the whole area.